have found that when you enter a group of people who are millionaires, you're going to be a millionaire. If you enter a group of people, let me give you a story. This is a very funny story. Yeah? So what happened is, for the longest time, I used to live in Eastlands. For the longest time, I would say, I'm getting ready to buy my plot in Siyokimau or Lang. I'm getting ready to buy my plot in Kitengela, and I'm gonna put a container there. And all my friends were yeah. Like among my friends, among my guys were like, this is the most forward-looking. You are such a visionary. You are already working on your plot in Kitengela. Where, boss, and you think big. You think big. And then something happens, and all of a sudden, I changed crowds. Not because there was anything wrong with my group. It just happened that we moved house, and now we are living on the other side of town altogether. But in living this side of town, I'm always hustling, always walking to sites and asking, what can I do? Can I bring sand? Can I bring water? Can I sell something? Do you guys have milk? Do you buy sugar? I'm always hustling. And in doing that, I found myself in this construction business. And in doing that construction business, this is what I think 2008, 2010, I now found a new crowd of guys who are also doing construction business, and they're in the construction space, and they're in the engineering space, and so on, project management. And we start hanging out, and I'm listening to their conversation, and all of a sudden, can you imagine, their conversation was different. While where I was staying before, Eastland's direction, it's not even Eastland, it's Mombasa Road, would have conversations, and the thinking was, how do I get a deposit to go lock land for 1.5 million? I need about 150k. How many eggs do I need to sell to get 150,000? Maybe I need 2 years, I need 1 year, I need 6 months to go and do that. And then how do I convince the bank to give me a loan that I'll pay off in 3 years, and so on? When I come this side, people are not talking about Siyokimau, people are not talking about Kitengela. Guys are talking about buying plots in Kitusuru. Guys are talking about what I was doing with you the other day. Guys are talking about buying plots in Karen. Now, listen to their conversation. So we are seated one day at the Fairview Country Lodge. Fairview at Upper Hill, they have this morendat burger. I must take you guys to eat this morendat burger. It's aged beef, and you have the softest corn balls with I don't know, these guys with some bacon. You bite, this thing is biting in your mouth. Now, passing it. Now we are seated at Fairview at the garden. I think, what is it called? It's called Pwani. Yeah, where the pool is at Fairview. Pwani. We're seated there, and one of these gentlemen, called Steve. Steve says, hey guys, by the way, I've seen a very interesting plot in Kitusuru. It's half an acre. The owner wants 55 million. Ebu, guys, tell me which construction site or which side of town is having a construction boom. I think we need to do a deal worth about 200 million, 300 million. We should be able to close 50M to buy that plot. I'm like, wait a minute. On this side, we're thinking about hustling, saving, getting a loan to buy a property. On this side, the conversation is around, what deal can I do? What business can I do? Where's the next opportunity that I can use to close that property? Here we are talking about buying property with loans. Here we're talking about buying properties with cash. That is the day my mind changed. And now, this thing gets even more interesting. I moved from loan thinking to cash thinking. Why? Because of the relationships I'm keeping close to me. If you are sitting around people who are talking about loans, betting, thievery, thuggery, that's the thing. If you are sitting around people who are talking about cash, investment. Now, let me give you one more thing. So these guys here, we were always talking about, if this happens, that will happen. If I'm able to sell eggs, if I'm able to sell chicken, if I'm able to sell movies, by the way, which are all businesses I actually did. They actually did them, yeah. So it was a lot of ifs. Yeah, if I'm able to move this amount and so on. When I'm sitting with these guys, remember, these are my friends, my age mates. Nothing changed. They're all age mates. And these guys here, they are not talking about if. They talk in absolute terms. Because Steve was saying, actually, I think, no, he's telling this guy, the other guy is called Thomas. Saying, Thomas, I think in 3 months we should be able to close our property. So what I'm going to do is, I think what we should do right now, I need 5M quickly. What we can do with 5M, the University of Nairobi is building. Let's reduce our prices for sand. Let's see if we can do 20. If we can do 20 trucks this week. Both guys are talking in absolute terms. Here we are talking in ifs. My mind completely changed. Truly, he that walks with the wise shall be wise. but a companion of fools is destroyed.